happened was, and so I proposed a show to them, and I started shooting that show. It was like a comedy sketch slash music kind of show, and while this was happening, MTV Pakistan like dissolved.
All right, guys, it is another episode, and I am so goddamn excited for this one. We have Nader Shah here with us today, who one he was a little late. I'm not mad at him for that. Nader, I actually want you to know I really appreciate that because I was fast asleep and I
Okay.
really didn't want to wake up. And when I saw your message, I was just the happiest man ever.
What time is
So
it
you
there
know,
right now?
it is 10 a.m.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty early.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's on a Sunday, dude. So, I
Hmm.
actually thought I had
Yeah.
scheduled you for Monday, but I'm terrible with calendars.
Hmm.
So, that's a fun fact. But hey,
You want to do this
Nader's got a lot
tomorrow?
going for himself. No, dude, we're
Okay.
here. We're ready.
Okay.
I'm wide awake. My hair is terrible, so I'm wearing a hat. But,
Yeah.
it's too late to stop.
Yeah, I'm awake too, buddy. We're here. By the way, guys, just to preface this is the guy who we told you guys about. This is the guy with the pigeon stories. On our previous podcast, on our solo, we talked about this guy. This guy is the one who's gonna be.
Oh, you guys have already spoken about
the
it.
nitty
Okay.
gritty details on how to start. Yeah, to start one of
Yeah.
the most premier pigeon pages in the country. So Nadir, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I wouldn't say it's the most premier page, but yes, I'm fine. How are you guys?
So, I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
Nader, I do want to jump into that just because it's such a random thing to hear from someone. So, you said you
Mhm.
started a page called Pigeons in Pakistan. Just tell me what you wrote, really, because that was such a hilarious thing to read.
Okay, I don't exactly have it in front of me, but basically what happened was like I was trying to tie in two stories together, and you know, like I said in that little bio, is that I started doing this music collective called Lesson TV, and there was a bunch of indie acts from Pakistan that we were sort of trying to put out there, and I was always trying to find different ways to sort of market myself or market these guys and girls. And one day I was bored, and I wanted to figure out a alternate way to sort of promote ourselves. So I was like, okay, let's make a random Facebook page, one of those dead pages that everyone sort of gets onto, and
Yeah.
eventually I'll start promoting stuff there. I called it Pigeons in Pakistan, and then there was a bracket that said "and abroad" because I want to keep it open for
Of course.
everyone. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, you want to keep it. You want to keep it international. Okay.
So eventually what happened was that I started putting pigeon based memes and pigeon pictures, and I would randomly put up a status saying katrakau, or pigeon sounds or whatever, and then stuff like who's better, Imran Khan or Nawaz Sharif, so like people would debate on that. And then eventually there's this guy randomly out of the blue, sometime maybe a year into this whole situation, this guy called Kabutar Khan,
Yeah.
who pops in, and he likes the
Oh
page.
my god.
And I'm like, okay, this guy seems interesting.
Wow.
I mean, just by the name of it, I was like, okay, I need to do something with this guy. I make him the admin of the page.
Yeah.
And it's that was like one of the best decisions I've made in my life when it comes to 6 degrees of separation or whatever it is. He took over the whole page.
Yeah.
Okay, he took over the whole page and he made it into this whole
Wow.
pigeon appreciation sort of fan page, and he put up every day he would put up videos
No
and pictures of pigeons, and he started even selling pigeons at some point on that page. He even
Holy shit.
yeah, and people kept messaging me कि कि मेरे कबूतर के बैक साइड से पानी निकल रहा है, मैं क्या करूं. So, stuff like that kept happening. And,
Oh my god.
obviously I didn't have all the answers, but, and most of the time this guy was pretty lax about answering himself. But, I mean, if you look at the page, it's not just, just kabuters. Like, it's also like he's actually found his demographic, and he has like a bunch of these pigeon buyers, and like even like political parties with pigeon as their symbol, that he sort of just promoted on there. And it's like a whole
That is
different
so
subgenre. It's a weird subgenre that like I just kind of fell into. And it's got, I don't know how many likes does it have now. It doesn't have many, but it's got all the relevant people on it. It's got about I don't know,
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
like-
like 5,000 likes on it or something. No, wait, it's 7,300 likes on it, and it's all organic. There was no money put into it or anything like that. So
Beautiful.
Yeah.
when I had the page, there were
that's just
about
one of
like
the-
Beautiful.
1,000 likes. Sorry,
7,300 people.
yeah.
Dude, that's just one of the stories that like it's so good to hear because things like that happen and they're so random, but you
Yeah.
never get to hear about them. So thanks
Yeah.
for just sharing that knowledge.
Yeah.
But hey, I really do want to jump into your actual music career because like you've done so much there.
Yeah.
You're really goddamn accomplished.
Don't
And I
want
don't
you-
want to brush
I don't
over
want you to
that.
be known as the pigeon guy. From this podcast.
I don't
no
even
one should be
mind.
known as the pigeon guy. This was just like
Honestly-
an interesting detour. The main thing, guys, he
Yeah.
does music.
No, I mean, but like I've like
Yeah, when
it
you
was
become-
it was eye opening for me because there's this whole different subculture that exists somewhere in interior Punjab that I had no idea about, but now I know better. So
Yeah. I mean, okay, I want to talk
Oh my
about your
God.
music.
mhm,
You
go
said you
ahead.
started a music collective and you brushed a bit on that. How does a music collective really work? Like, what do you guys do for each other specifically?
Okay,
And like,
well,
what bands were there with you?
yeah. So back in the day, this is right after I got out of university. I decided, I want to record about. Okay, hold up, reverse, rewind. Sorry. When I was doing my internship in university, I had to like obviously do it somewhere, and I had to get it written, okay, I worked at a legit place. I was working for this place, well, MTV, right? MTV Pakistan. And they wanted me to intern for like a month. And, but what happened was, and so I proposed a show to them, and I started shooting that show. It was like a comedy sketch slash music kind of show. And while this was happening, MTV Pakistan like dissolved, right? So that was cool. But then what happened was that, well, I found another place to intern, and that was legitimate and everything. It was for graphic design. I did my university in graphic design. I don't know why I did that. But khair. Fast forward, what I did was I put all that footage together and I started putting it up on YouTube by the name of Lesson TV. And I felt like the music was getting more attention. And I mean, I'd been surrounded by music since like a kid anyway. Like I had a bunch of friends who were all into music, and so I decided, I think I'll try to shoot and sort of facilitate more music this way. I used to make these live music videos with a bunch of people. Like I think it was Zamane mein Coke Studio bhi aaya tha, so we were like just doing the Karachi version of like a very indie version of like a zero budget Coke Studio. We had bands like back in the day, we had like, apart from my own band, Sikandar Kamandir, there was also people like Usman Riaz and this shoegaze band called Orange Noise. There was this band called Mole. Bashir and the Pipe Pipers is a band from Islamabad. Uske alawa, then we sort of started branching out, and we got Khomariyan, we got Shamoon Ismail, we got Natasha Ijaz, a bunch of people, Shaji, a bunch of people started coming onto our roster. And then, we just kind of, what we used to do was we'd make these videos, we'd do tours. So we did like tours like going from Islamabad to Lahore to Karachi, and we do a show in each city. We'd try to make mixtapes. We made a bunch of mixtapes, and we used to sell them at our shows. We used to sell merchandise. We used to, we made sure that we did shows like, at least once a month, if not more, apart from these recordings. So it was just a very nice little bubble of these kids, coming together and trying to help promote each other in the early stages of our music.
Nice.
So that it was just a community of sorts,
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool, dude.
Yeah.
And I guess, so you were with Sikandar Kamandir back then.
Yeah.
But now you said you're launching your solo music career.
That's right.
How'd the jump come around? Did the band just like break up? Did you guys decide to move on? Is this an addition?
Well, not really. Okay, so the people in my band, they're also in other bands, and they've also got their solo stuff happening. So there's Ali Sohail in my band who's...
So it was not monogamous.
So it
was not monogamous.
Definitely not.
It was like you could be a part of other bands as well. Wait.
Yeah. And, it's understandable. Like, there's not much to go around when it comes to, like, money in music over here, unless you're Atif Aslam. But like like I was saying, Ali Sohail is in my band. Ali Sohail is in Takatak. If you heard, it's a metal band from or they call it gent. It's a gent band. He's also has his own solo career happening.
We've heard of Takatak.
There's Zara Paracha, who has her own solo career happening, as well as Biryani Brothers. She's also part of Biryani Brothers. So and then Daoud is my drummer. Daoud is also from Takatak. So that's been happening for a while. So like
one thing that I want to ask Nadir.
Sure.
Nadir. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something. What is up with Pakistani bands and Pakistani musicians naming their bands and their careers after food, like Takatak Bhenjo, like it's after that, like that thing that you get on Food Street, and like Biryani Brothers, like what's this whole culture of naming yourself after food items in this country? Like is there a reason for that? Because I've been hearing this a lot lately.
I don't think it's like a culinary preference or anything like that. I just think it's like we like funny names. Like Janubi Khargosh is a funny name. Even Sikandar Kamandir is a funny name. I think we just like this whole indie scene has got like a very like bas oot patang log hai hum sare, and we just made funny.
The humorous vibe.
We don't even make funny songs, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think that's very limited to just your Pakistani indie scene, because if you look outside of that, a lot of indie bands have really weird names.
Yeah.
I've been listening to two bands called Pigeons playing ping pong.
Yeah.
Nice.
I started listening to them only because of their name. Like,
nice.
I love the music, but I knew nothing about them. I saw the name, I was like, this is my new favorite band for them.
Mm-hmm.
We're back
and then
to
another
Pigeons. We're back
to Pigeons. It all comes full circle. And then the other band is Car Seat Headrest, which is just like great band, but like what a random name to
what
have.
A mundane name, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of like that, because what else are you gonna name your band? There's so many bands. Everything's been taken at this point.
Yeah.
Like next thing you're gonna have like Sikandar Kamandir, 17, because Sikandar Kamandar 1 through 16 were taken by someone else. Like, 10 years from now, that's going to be the music scene.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're keeping music interesting, so that's always nice.
Yeah.
Dude,
Even
before we go any further,
yeah.
ask us a question. What do you want to know besides how we started this podcast?
Okay. First of all, tell me the story of that teddy bear behind
That's the one
you.
question you can't ask.
Oh, dude. Okay, the last person asked me this too, but I'm gonna tell you because it's my favorite story to tell.
Okay.
So I'm in college. Every week we go to Walmart. We take an Uber because we don't own cars, and like we go here every week. We spend an hour walking around getting groceries we need. This one time, out of the blue, we go on like a Thursday or something. We're walking around, and in the middle of Walmart, there's this big cage, like half the size of the room I'm in, and it just has like 100 monkeys that size right there.
Okay.
And like we're about to leave Walmart when we turn the corner and we see the cage, and we all just kind of stand there, and like no one wants to spend money, but we're like, we should get one of these, right? So we get
Was
this
it
monkey.
expensive?
It was like $20, which is
Okay.
like really cheap.
That's
you know?
pretty
Like,
cheap
I've never
for like a big monkey like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's more than like 6 feet tall. I tried to look for another one, but the cheapest they
Yeah.
can find is like 70, 80, because like it's
Nice.
a big monkey.
Yeah.
But yeah, we buy it, we stuff him into like the sedan that we call as an Uber, and the guy is all confused, like, wait, what's happening? And then like we get back, and my apartment's on like a one-way street, so we have to park kind of far away. So we're carrying this guy over our shoulders as if we're like lugging a dead body around. And we finally take him to the apartment, and he's just been with us ever since. And well, college ended, but I got to
It's
keep
kind
him
of
for now.
it's kind of like the pigeons. It's kind of like the pigeons. Like, he found it in the cage. Pigeons are in cages, especially in interior Punjab. You have huge cages filled with fucking 50 to 100 pigeons in them. So it's all coming back full circle. I'm making that connection with pigeons now.
Okay, Saad, you're
Everything is all
forcing
about
the
pigeons
metaphor
today.
now.
Yeah, you're really killing it, bro. Thank you for calling him out, Nadir. I'm glad I didn't have to call him out
Nah,
for once.
bro, I love it. No. It's a beautiful metaphor, and I'm gonna stick to it because this is what it's about.
Okay, so
But it's not going
first
to
of
be
all,
beautiful for long. Okay.
so is the monkey? Does the monkey have a name, and how heavy is
Yes. Dude, he probably weighs like 5 pounds. I'm just
Okay.
guessing.
he? Okay.
He's not too heavy.
Okay.
His name is Donkey. Like
Okay.
donkey, but Donkey. So like how
Donkey.
Shrek would call the donkey, Donkey. That's what we call him.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. All right.
Oh my god.
Okay. So
I like how a quarter of this podcast is about his fucking monkey. Salman, continue with the.
he
actual
should be the
topic.
mascot.
What do we have?
Like my mascot is a
Dude,
pigeon
I
now.
think he should be. I think our mascot could be this monkey. So I love the idea.
We'll discuss that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the last things I want to hit on is
Yeah.
you mentioned Instagram. You mentioned your comedy page. Tell
Mm-hmm.
us a bit about that. Like, I know you do. I know you're big on comedy because you mentioned like you
Yeah.
had 1 month on MTV, and you not only like pitched a show, but you started
Yeah.
filming it. That's pretty
Yeah.
big. I didn't even know that was possible. But yeah, tell us about a bit about this page.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like this is really just like this started off as an idea over lunch. Misbah is another musician, a fellow musician that I know of. He's also part of a band called. He was ex Taka Tak, by the way. Now he's a part of a band called Keede Makode, like
Okay.
like the
Okay.
Beatles, and. Yeah, so Misbah just he's got his own solo stuff happening as well. So we were just sitting at his house, and we were having lunch, and we started talking in very dramatic ways, like they do in like Pakistani dramas, and it was all very mundane conversation, but it just continued on in the same sort of fashion. So we shot like a little scene out of it where he's actually upset that he's not invited to someone's party, and then later on in the skit, we realize he's actually not a man; he's a woman, and so there's a bunch of
Okay.
gender swap situations that keep happening in our show, and it's all very heavily based on the this one pack of which is called Indian drama music score. It's got like 5 or 6 different types of scores that we just keep plugging in, and the music just like music and slow motion basically dramatizes those scenes very much. So we say very mundane things, or like
Yeah.
stuff like okay, we're on a date, and then my real wife comes in, and she's like, what the fuck's going on here? So उस तरह की like
Yeah.
Okay.
चीजें होती हैं. So it's very like very much like Pakistani dramas, but it's a let's say it's a tribute to Pakistani
I get
dramas.
what you mean. My big question is, do you guys like do the thing where you cut 7 times in one scene whenever something dramatic happens?
That is
5, 6 camera angles.
that's the vibe. That's the vibe.
Yeah, that's the vibe. I know exactly what you
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
That is the skit comedy we need right there.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
वैसे Nadir, the one last question before we wrap up this podcast.
Sure.
One last question is that what I want to ask you is that what do you think of the whole comedy scene, the stand-up comedy scene within Pakistan? Do you like it? Do you hate it? I've already expressed my opinion on a previous podcast, but I personally don't like it that much. What do you think of it?
I think there's some really interesting comedians. Well, I'm originally from Karachi. I live in Islamabad now, but like there's a bunch of really interesting comedians in Karachi.
Okay.
There was this collective called LOL Wale or LOL Wale, which has had a really cool bunch of dudes like Akbar Chaudhry and Kumail, and even for some time like Ali Gulpi was with them, and Saad Haroon and all these dudes. So I think they've got some
Okay.
interesting comedy happening individually as well. I personally like Akbar Chaudhry quite a bit. But apart from that, even some girls have been doing some interesting stuff in Karachi. I think there's this girl called Aisha Tariq and Aisha Khan. There are 2 Aishas. And so there was recently a show as well in Karachi with some women. I thought that they've got an interesting scene happening. It's I still feel like it's a couple of years maybe in its infancy, but it's definitely like they've got some good material, especially because they've been doing stand up almost every weekend, so it keeps getting better. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right. All right. And I think we're done, Salman. Thank you so much for showing up, Nadir. It was a real blast having you on. Kasam se, listening to all your transition and the fact that you're into so many different facets of different arts. It's always interesting to talk to people like you. But guys, if you do like this episode, do hit the like and subscribe button down below. Comment down below. Let us know what you liked about it, what you hate about it. If you hate something about it, please let me know. I thrive off hate and haters. Just letting you know. But I guess we're done. Peace. Adios. Goodbye.